hope you're doing better than me, but that's a whole story time. A whole story time. I'm okay. I'm here. We're healthy. I guess. You know, sometimes you just gotta list your gratefuls. However, we'll get into that in another video. This video is about what I've been watching on the television. I'm gonna pop in some gum. We'll do some light housekeeping. Cinnamon extra. Perfect. Scooch my chair in. Okay. If you are new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back, OGs. If you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. If you're old here, go double check, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like if you like, leave a comment. Anything related to the video. It could just be a hello, a few emojis, anything as long as it's cool. As long as it's friendly. As long as it's respectful. Hit the notification bell, and as always, I will link my tip jars in the description box. No pressure, but anything donated to the channel is very much appreciated. And it's what helps me to keep making content. You can follow me over on Instagram, same name, over there on Instagram. That kind of goes in with my story. But for now, my Instagram is up. For most of these, I know where I watched them. Like, I know what platform I watched them on. There's just one that I can't remember what platform I watched it on. I was going through a funk, because usually I'm like elbow deep in a show. Like, that show was my life. I'm binging it. I like to find shows that have like many seasons out. But I'm also really picky with like, if I just watch something that was like historical fiction, then I don't want to watch historical fiction for a few months, you know. I kind of have to rotate. And I had just got done with Peaky Blinders, which I was absolutely in love with. The last season was like whatever, but it was the first time I watched Peaky Blinders all the way through. So I was just like emotionally attached to all the characters. I was like, I don't know what to watch after this. Plus, you know, there's a lot going on in Hollywood, so new stuff probably won't be coming out for a while. That's fine, because I struggle with the week-to-week stuff, because I like to binge. Well, alright, let's see what's on the list. I watched The Whale with Brendan Fraser. It was good. It was really good. It was a slow burn. Pretty much the whole movie takes place in Brendan Fraser's character's living room. Because it's about Brendan. He's like extremely overweight. He can't really get out much. He has like an in-home nurse that really cares about him. And then his daughter. He has a teenage daughter that like isn't even supposed to see him. Like, he doesn't have custody of her. He was pretty much a deadbeat dad, I think. No, I think he paid, but I think he was like emotionally a deadbeat dad. So she starts coming around again, but his health is like, he's at the end of his ropes on his blood pressure, and just health-wise, he's just ran his system to the ground. Brendan played out of that role. Like, he really did. I think he won awards, and they were well deserved. So I can say you should watch it. is really triggering because it essentially is about food addiction. So like you'll see Brendan's character every time he gets struck, even though he knows like he needs to go to the hospital, and I don't even know if that would have saved him, like by what they're saying. It might have just been a more maybe it could have, but he knows that he's in like past the red zone, but something will happen that will stress him out, and he will like just open his drawer full of chocolate and treats or whatever and just start going to town, which is it's addiction, right? People do it with all kinds of other things. It's the same as that. It's just every addict has their crutch, or their reach, and some addicts have many, right? And then he'll feel kind of like the shame, so he's in like a shame spiral. It was really good. Then we watched Dumb and Dumber. I don't know why. Every once in a while I just need to watch it. The original. The second one, I don't ever need to watch the second one. Every few years, I really get an urge to watch Dumb and Dumber. I cannot remember what we found it on. Maybe Netflix. I don't remember. I don't think that there's anybody that has not seen Dumb and Dumber, but am I wrong? Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, if you've seen it, if you've never seen it. To me, I think it stands the test of time because Dumb and Dumber is old. It's a classic. And we were rolling. Especially because I've never watched it with my fiance. Never. And, I know why we wanted to watch it, because I don't remember what we were talking about, if I was hungry. Oh yeah, he was ordering food. He likes to order food online, like put in his to-go order online. I really don't, because I swear it takes him like 30 minutes to put in a food order online for takeout, when I could just call and be like, okay, and I can ask questions. So he had called a place and he was like, well, do you want soup? And I was like, okay, yeah, maybe. What's the soup? He's like, I don't know, it just says soup of the day. And I was like, that sounds good. I'll have that. And he started cracking up, and I was like, you know what, that's rum, right? And he's like, no. I was like, halt. Okay, pause. Put a pin in it. Call the place, find out what the soup of the day is. It was like chili mac. I was like, fine, whatever. Get this food ordered because we are going downstairs for a mandatory viewing session of Dumb and Dumber, because I use way too many Dumb and Dumber jokes for you not to know that movie front to back, tail to toe, head to toe, whatever. My pets' heads are falling off. So we did, and we were just like rolling, and it was so fun to watch it with him because he had pretty much forgot the whole movie. I'm like, no, now we gotta watch it like 4 times this year so you can get it down pat. So since we were on like a comedy kick, the next night we watched Horrible Bosses 2 again. Like I could not really remember Horrible Bosses 1. So I was a little lost on some of the parts, but he actually could remember most of the storyline from Horrible Bosses 1. Jennifer Aniston, Jason something, Charlie Day. Who else? Who's the third guy? Why did I just blank out on that? It's my favorite guy, Jason Bateman. Duh. So, it's kind of like a raunchy comedy about three guys who have this business idea and they get screwed over by who they get into business with because they're don't really understand the bit, like, getting into this business. So of course there's vultures, right, that give him, like, they give the guys like a loan, and it's, I don't know, anyways, they get themselves into hot water in over their heads, and a lot of work profits about to get ripped out from under them, because they didn't know what they were doing. Jennifer Aniston looks amazing in Horrible Bosses too. Like, I think but the character she plays is so out, because she's always like a wholesome character, right? She's always like a sweet, innocent. Not in Horrible Bosses. No. If you've never seen the Horrible Bosses, it's worth watching if you like raunchy comedy, which sometimes I don't. But if it's Jason Bateman, I know it's gonna be not like pointlessly raunchy. Like, there's some Sausage Party. 2 thumbs down. Okay, Sausage Party was like two 7th grade boys wrote a movie. In a locker room while they were looking at dirty magazines. Like, it's not funny. It's not, I don't understand how adults are laughing at it. Like, raunchy for the sake of raunchy does not do it for me. There has to be like a storyline, there has to be some character build, there has to be adult humor, like, anyway. That was on Prime, I believe, and then Deadfall, I think that was on HBO. It was on HBO or Prime, I'm not sure. Deadfall was a movie about I cannot remember the other characters' names. Sissy Spacek was in it. Jax from Sons of Anarchy is in it. What is her name? Olivia Wilde's in it. So, while I kind of recommend it if you're not going to get hung up on any of the plot holes, okay? Because there was a lot. Like, the more you think about it, the more you're like, what? But it was kind of good. It was like a winter themed, the guy who plays Dirty John, Eric Bana, yes. It's him and a woman who's played by Olivia Wilde. They had just robbed, I think, like a casino or a bank or something. So they're on the lam. Meanwhile, Jax from Sons of Anarchy, because I can't think of his real name, he had just done something crazy and he was kind of on the lam too. And that part never gets addressed. Not one more time in that whole movie. But Jax is on his way to his parents' house out in the country, and he crosses paths with the woman that had just robbed the bank or the casino, because Eric Bana had sent her off while he did some other on the lam type stuff. And he meets her, and she's supposed to trick him, and of course they end up falling in love or something. It kept me on the couch. It kept me watching it. But there's just too many plot holes. Way too many plot holes for me to be like, it doesn't click, you know, at the end. It's just like, are they done? Are they gonna go back and... Okay, whatever. But it doesn't make sense because it was like a full star cast, you know? If you've seen it, let me know what you think. Shelter. Shelter just came out on Amazon Prime. Which, good for Amazon Prime because they've been slacking big time. I haven't found anything I wanted to watch, like shows. I haven't found any shows that I want to like really binge on Amazon Prime in a while. Same with Netflix. Shelter is based on a Harlan Coben book. Harlan Coben, usually his books go to Netflix, so it was kind of weird for me to see that it was on Amazon Prime. Shelter is, if you've never read Harlan Coben books, they're excellent. I don't really read them anymore just because I got my whole fill of Harlan Coben. Because I binged. Like, when I first started reading big time, I read dozens of Harlan Coben books. So when one comes out, I haven't read any in so many years, I'm like, did I read this one? And I usually don't know until like I start watching it and I'm like, I have read this one. The same thing happened with Shelter. I started watching it and I was like, wait a second, this isn't one of his new books. I've read this one. I would call this one like young adult because it is about teenagers, but it's still good. The main character is the boy who played Colin Kaepernick's character in that Netflix special. But it's about a boy who, he's kind of, he lost his dad in a car accident. His mom is in rehab, so he goes to stay with his aunt. And he's like in high school. He meets a girl at the new school that he's at. I think she's new too, I'm not sure. He starts hanging out with her a little bit and then she just poof disappears into thin air. So he has like a few new friends that he made and he's like, you guys, this doesn't seem right. Maybe we should start looking for her. So they kind of like make this little band of, you know, investigators and start looking into stuff. And of course, then all the, like, the teacher's questionable. The other parents are questionable. The neighbors are questionable. You know, it's a thriller. It's a suspense. Just the typical. But it's good. It's good. The good thing is that I don't remember the end. I don't really remember as it goes. I'm like, I remember that, but I'm not really remembering how it's gonna go. So it's pretty much like I am watching it for the first time, but I'm glad that I don't remember everything, because then I'd be like, oh, I know what happens next. Also, when my fiance knows that I know, he'll start asking questions like, is it him? I'm not gonna tell you. So I'd rather just not remember so we can watch it. We can both watch it at the same time, you know? So what was that? 6 things that I've been watching lately. Oh no, I didn't do the clearing because we started the clearing last night because Shelter is week to week. So you have to wait each week for Shelter. Now the clearing on Hulu. That's already out. I don't know how many seasons, but it is about like a kidnapping. Not true. Even though kidnapping is true and it might be based loosely on something, it's fiction, you know, it's not a documentary. But it's about like a kidnapping cult, kind of. I've only watched one episode. We watched one episode last night. And I recognized the girl. I was like, who is that? So I googled it, and I know her from one of my favorite movies, which was Warm Bodies. If you've never seen Warm Bodies before, give it a watch. zombie movie. I love zombie movies. But it's not like a terrifying zombie. It's like a zomcom. A zomcom? It's like a zombie romance comedy. Like a little bit of action. It's good. It's really good. More like a young adult zombie movie. So yeah, we started the clearing last night, and it just starts out that there's like two little girls talking to each other on the street, and the one girl is a little bit older. She's kind of like trying to get the littler one to stay by her for a little bit. She's like, no, stay here and talk to me. You can see that there's like a van coming down the street, and you already know what's happening, right? Like this cult is using one young girl to hold the other girl so that they can pull this van up and grab the new one. So they do. They pull her into the van, drive off, and then they get to like this, what do you call a cult? Like a compound, you know? There's a bunch of other kids, and they all make them dye their hair like white blonde, which I remember watching a newer Jasmine that there really was a cult like this. Like, she was getting kids through like some kind of religious, like adoption type thing, scam, and just bringing them in, like it's in the 80s or something. And then she would bleach their hair out and like make them all dress in like white or something all the same. And that's probably loosely what they got some of these ideas from. It had to be, because I was like, this looks just like those kids from that documentary, or Noor's YouTube. If you don't watch Noor Jasmine, she does deep dives into true crime, and they're really good. Okay, so I don't know much about the clearing yet, because I've only watched one episode. So if I do another one of these, what I've been watching, I'll know a little bit more. I don't know if I can recommend it or not. That is what I've been watching lately. You can let me know what you've been watching in the comments. Okay. If you are still there, thank you for watching all the way to the end. YouTube really likes that. They really love it, and I do too. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, rest of your evening, and